light some incense here. This is one of my angel number ones that I picked up at my local Five Below. Okay. This one is 111, intuition. Okay. What is the scent on it? I'm looking for it here. Sea salt and driftwood. Okay. Some nice crinkly packaging. Your dog will be saying, "Where's my cheese?" So, yeah. Okay. I think this one is stronger. I think this one is stronger than the 777 I had burned earlier. Scent wise, okay? Just FYI if you happen to run out and purchase these. But the whole package was a wee $5. So, the great thing about that, it's a sampler pack. So, if you don't care for the strength of one of the scents, you can move on to one of the others, I kind of grew up with incense, My parents got married in the 70s. It was just like a thing, you know what I mean? So we always had incense in the house, and my mom would buy like dried eucalyptus and you know what I mean, just like natural kind of stuff for the house to keep it kind of fresh without like making everything smell like lemon pledge. Do you know what I'm saying? Like bringing some of that outside inside, but keeping it still nice and neat. You know what I'm saying? There's ways of doing it. They also make those like preserved roses, and they have a scent to them. So if you're looking for something like that, and maybe that would be a good gift if you're not sure what to get somebody, get them some of those preserved scented roses. They last for like a year or something or more. You know what I mean? I think it's a nice gift, and just kind of a way to brighten a room. I don't have any like special discount codes or anything. I just am happening to mention that since some of these other decorative things came up. I happen to have sage, often burn sage. Some people use sage as a decoration. I would say especially during Halloween. Okay. All right, here's the Animal Oracle deck. I was thinking about doing that because, this full moon we have coming up. Okay. And then maybe we can do the Lover's Oracle. Okay, maybe we'll have some love notes revealed. Possibly, right? I might have to move this candle so you guys can see the cards better, but I think that's how we're gonna do these today. Okay. So we're gonna stick this deck to the side because I think I only want to use one tarot today for this reading in particular. Okay, we'll just do it like that. I think that's all right. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Work. You all know that one by Riri. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start with this little animal oracle since we have the full moon coming up. And, maybe your animals are starting to get a little, overactive, or you're just like, what is in the air? Yeah, we got a full moon, like tomorrow, right? So, As always, my donation link is in the main description if you care to make a monetary donation to the channel. Otherwise, you are free to make a free donation to the channel just by watching the video, liking the video, or subscribing to the channel if you find that these messages resonate with you. If it's not your message today, just don't sweat it, you know? Could be happening to somebody around you. Maybe it's like one of your coworkers and you're just like in close proximity and it's just, do you know what I mean? And if you're empathic, you're going to be like picking up on all this stuff, right? You know, it's like people are not stupid, right? And when you're exposed to a certain environment in, you know, isolation almost, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you not? Okay. So, you know, and people are always so surprised, and it's like, really? B, community. Okay. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to reserving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Yes, and we do like our honeybees pollinating things for us, right? Spreading it around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was one of my jobs once at the research firm that I worked at, was doing pollination, like making sure things got pollinated, right? Because when they're trying to make like different hybrid, you know, plants and things like that, more like resistant to, you know, disease or, you know, infestations, but like still, you know, kind to the bees. You know what I mean? So, hello there in the chat. We got a dude man. Personal choice, right? Just like our usernames on YouTube are our personal choice, right? We get to make choices every single day. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. Okay, so if you were out in this forest, what animal would you be? Would you be one of those elk? Would you be a deer? Would you be a raccoon? Would you be a coyote? Like, how do you envision yourself? Okay. Sorry if I end up, the incense is like coming right at me. Here, I may move it a little bit. I don't have this. Hang on a second. Poor favor. Okay, hopefully that fan is not too loud in the background. Oof. I don't really like it. Sorry guys, I'm gonna turn it off. Okay. I don't know that that's exactly going to solve it, but I think it might alleviate some of what I was experiencing anyway. So yeah, personal choice, right? You know, the smoke, you know, the incense putting off the smoke or the scent, you know, kind of reminds me of, I'm getting in channeling, like if somebody happens to smoke cigarettes or something else, like there's something about it. Yeah, personal choice. So I don't know who's resonating with that. I don't know what the specific message is about it. Honestly, I'm not being revealed that. Okay. Fox, clever. Okay. This says you are swift and smart. Solutions to problems. Stupid fireworks still going. Solutions to problems are easily found always. Listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. Okay. So again, you know, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? Maybe you're a clever little fox climbing through the trees. Maybe you're a busy little bee flying through the forest. Okay? Right? Okay. And I was just gonna say for luck, and then it says ladybug good luck. So how about that? I like it when stuff like that happens. Okay. I'm gonna move these headphones a little bit because my hair is kind of caught in them, but it's a lot easier for me to record when I'm using this setup and the headphones. Okay. So, all right, well, I'm out of that. Let me I'm gonna put that down. All right, the Lover's Oracle. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Oh. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. I feel like it's been a long day. But honestly, it's supposed to be like the shortest day by milliseconds ever recorded. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. Okay, so if you're feeling short on love, Dr. Jones, right? What's in the... All right, we're going to take a look. What's in the Lover's Oracle? Yada, yada, yada. All right. Isn't that funny, too? Because Dr. Jones is like... He's always wanting to be Mr. Romance, right? But when the woman, like, literally falls into his arms, then he's like, oh, now I have to deal with her. I mean, I think usually eventually he comes around in the movies, but do you know what I'm saying? But that last one, I mean, well, I haven't seen all of them. He liked them, though, you know, with the Holy Grail and everything. Anyway. I wish I could be fully honest with you. This Lover's Oracle is saying so. Possibly somebody in your community collective wishes they could be fully honest with you and they feel like they can't right now for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they have a crush on you and it's like they are not privy to tell you at this moment, I'm afraid to lose you. Okay. So personal choice. So this person has decided for themselves that you're important enough that they don't want to lose you, right? But you know, you have a personal choice in the matter as well, collective, right? Just because somebody's available doesn't mean that you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like, anyway. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. Okay, so collective, whoever this is, I don't think they handle their emotions very well. Okay, I think they have a problem with communication. There might be something coming with this full moon where it's like, yeah, they're just feeling like they want to burst out some kind of communication. And the Knight of Swords came through in the reading, I think it was earlier this morning, so do go check that out. Okay. Let's see here. I wish I could be a different person, somebody is saying here in this Lover's Oracle. You know, you might be telling this person good luck. Like, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wish you could too. Yeah, they're not divulging something. So there's something that's got them like hung up a little bit. Okay. I'm not sure what it is exactly. You know, work was coming through in the previous, like if you're going to be in some kind of separation due to work, but yeah, I don't know. All right. Let's get some clarifying tarot here. So this will be a relatively quick message tonight, okay? All right. Now, Sagittarius, Temperance card, patience. Okay, so this could be a message for you, collective. Okay, so if there is somebody who wishes they could be fully honest with you, and maybe it's kind of one of these things where like they don't know, like maybe, when they see you, they'll know if you're going to be approachable or not. Okay. So I think that's where, you're getting the message to have some patience regarding the situation, especially if this is somebody that you would engage in a conversation with because they are a part of your community or whatever it is where you live at. Yeah, there could be something of that nature. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Came right out. The devil. I'll never forget that Saturday Night Live skit, and Mike Myers is calling him the devil when he's like the hypo. So this person could have an addiction. Remember the hypo? He like wouldn't put down the candy, and then he was like foaming at the mouth, right? Um, some of you, this person treats you as if that you are their addiction type thing. Again, this is a personal choice. It may not be your choice, right? You might be like, look, that sounds cute and all, but in theory, but in practice, it's not gonna work. So we're just not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Again, some Capricorn energy there, for those who resonate. Nine of Wands. Okay, so yeah, collective, this person could be holding back their true feelings too, because they thought by now you would have kind of like succumbed to this temptation that they have, right? This fear, and you haven't. You're still like battling forward here with this Nine of Wands. And so they're seeing you as a very clever person, like, and then they're like, oh, well, you're like, they don't see you on the same level, right? You might be kind of, you know, I hate the one upping, whatever, that's how some people might, but your experience in certain matters is exceeding theirs, is what I want to say. Okay. So how that resonates, right? And it's making this person feel very uncomfortable. So it's like they're regrouping now and trying to figure out what they want to say. Okay. And that's why, but I'm not saying you got to wait for this person to figure it out either. Okay, this is just what's coming out in the energy. All right. But part of the reason they're getting choked up is because, yes, you are clever. Okay. So, take the good news where you can get it, right? You ever listen to that Baz Luhrmann thing? And he's like, forget the insults. Remember any compliments, forget the insults. And if you figure out how to do this, let me know. So be very careful about, not only what you're engaging in conversation, but what you're telling yourself as you go along your day, right? Say, I am wise, I am clever, I am doing the right things. That's part of manifestation also. Okay. Because then when you go to do that thing, you're gonna be asking yourself that question: is that is that wise, right? Okay. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like some people they want to confuse you and make you think it's rocket science. Okay. Well, guess what? We've already built rockets to the moon. And yes, it is a science. And yes, there's like a little blueprint that you can go download go look at in your local library and make one yourself. So, and, I mean, it's kind of like, right, shoot for the stars. Star energy, Aquarius, doing your own thing, dreaming big, not worrying about what other people think or perceive, realizing that a lot of people are governed by, fears and anxieties, right? This back, right? That's why they're holding on to dear life. Like, and it's like, dude, get it, but like, okay, whatever. Yeah, and they're saying they wish they could be different. So it's like they see you moving forward into this and receiving this good luck. Yeah. And this is kind of what's coming out. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, yeah, there's you know, I don't like to, give folks ultimatum, but when they say no decision is a decision. And that's what I'm getting with this 2 of Wands right now. I'm just that's the energy that it didn't come out in reverse, but that's just the energy I'm getting with it right now. And I have a feeling that it absolutely revolves around this right here saying, why can't I tell you the truth? So I feel like it's been a decision not to tell you the truth, collective. Okay. Um, I am reminded of a movie where, one of the characters, they don't tell her what's happening, okay, because they're concerned. All right. Um, and that's not really this case. Okay. This case is they didn't want to act because they were concerned about their own hide, right? That was their concern with this 2 of Wands. And hey, everybody's entitled to that, right? But I'm just letting you know, energetically, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, beware of the person coming towards you now, seeing you have good luck, which is literally what was, I mean, look, they're like matching cards. Hello. The universe speaks in a lot of different ways, okay? Okay? Even through your local tarot reader, okay? I'm not the only one out here doing this, folks. I'm not the only one doing this because guess what? Some things just make sense, okay? So stop listening to other folks that want to fill your head full of crap. Do you know what I'm saying? And let you sit in indecision. What kind of friend would that, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like when, you're supposed to get together with somebody and they're like, well, what time? You're just like, oh, I don't know. It's like, well, do you even want to get together? And they're like, yeah. It's like, well, do you know what I'm saying? Match and effort. So this 2 of Wands might be a message for somebody out there that somebody might be asking you a question. Okay, they can ask. That doesn't mean you need to respond. You know what I'm saying? When they say respond in kind, sometimes the kind thing is saying nothing at all. Okay. So, yeah. You might want to cleanse your crystals out there, folks, and the full moon, of course, if it's not raining, because some crystals, like selenite here, okay, a great overall cleansing crystal. The selenite can dissolve in water. Okay, so when you're caring for your crystals, just beware of things like that. Okay. This happens to be one of my favorite. It's called Ocean Jasper. Because typically when you think ocean mementos, you're thinking seashells, not stones, okay, or crystals. And this does remind me of, the multicolored sand along the beach. Okay. So, collective, yeah. Give yourself a little extra hug, maybe. Okay. Just because I feel like you've been really, really patient. Okay. And, for you, when it's time to move on, it might be time to move on. Right. And that might be, accepting this personal change here. Okay. For some of you, that could be entering into a partnership, that could be getting out of a partnership. There's a lot of different ways, right? Um, where we exercise that choice, not out of fear, but of love for ourselves, right? We don't, what's the line in the movies when they're like, I'm not somebody's consolation prize, right? You know, and, he has to marry the first sister before he can get to the second sister. It's kind of weird. Something like that. Anyway, as one of my nurse friends would say, anyway, because sometimes it's like, it ain't even worth getting all into that about it. You know what I'm saying? Because come on now. Who got time for that? Right? We're just trying to stay cool, stay fed, stay working. All right, you know what I'm saying? How's that confusing for anybody out there? And if that's your thing to figure out, maybe it's time to start thinking about it. So, yeah. Oh, I tell you that full moon. This usually happens around the full moon cycle is I'll push out a bunch of reads and apparently this time is no different. So, for everyone out there, I say I bid you good luck. Yes. Okay. Good luck in your community. Pollinate wisely, right? You don't want to be over pollinating one flower. You got to go to a lot of different flowers, right? Okay. And then we have personal choice. Okay. So collective, you could be like, well, I don't want to pollinate a bunch of different flowers. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe the way you pollinate is a little different than how other people pollinate. Okay. You don't have to take every message literally, right? And that's part of the fear, right? So let go of the expectations, okay? Right? And start letting, the universe, start letting um this higher vision of yourself, right? Start coming in tune with, okay, you know, and yeah, you might be pretty clever too, by the way. So give yourself a little credit. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like in that being kind to yourself moment, right? You know how it is when you start wearing them flip flops a little too much. I probably should get that pedicure. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so and that's going to be part of things that make you feel better about yourself too. Once you start caring for yourself in that manner, okay? Um, yeah. Anyway, collective, it's part of who you are. It's part of your destiny, okay? Kind of to fulfill, as a person. Psychologists came up with the term self-actualized, Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Okay, if you're not sure what that means, go check it out, right? Because after we have certain basic things covered, right, it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing, right? Well, tap into that, okay? The star, what do you want to be known for, right? What do you want your legacy to be? I mean, sure, it gets deep, but, hey, what are our little brains for? Okay? Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. So, yeah, good luck on that journey, right? That's the kind of thing you want for yourself, right? Love and happiness. Alrighty. Collective, I hope you enjoyed this message. Please do remember to like the video if you were in the chat today. Consider subscribing. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. Okay. I do appreciate your hanging out and watching and, exactly enjoying a peaceful evening. Sometimes that's kind of what we need, right? So, that being said, bye bye, manifest wisely.